Hello, everybody. Welcome to session 4 of Unit 6, Module 1. We're going to be comparing some cube sequences. We're going to use the information and data from yesterday from your student book, page 206, and then compare that to another arrangement and sequence that we're going to be investigating on page 208. All right, we're also going to be working together to complete pages 209 and 210 in our notebooks or in our student books. And you will have some homework tonight. Student book page 211 and your home connections page 113 and 114. All right, so I'm going to show you another arrangement, and I'd like you to make some predictions. Please don't open your book yet to page 208. We're going to get to that later. Think about what your fourth and fifth sequence may look like. Make some predictions. If you want to draw it in your notebook, pause the video, make your drawings, and then come on back to us. Did you predict that it would look something like this for your fourth one? Yeah, what do you notice? This arrangement looks very similar to the arrangement from yesterday, except we started with 2 blocks as opposed to 1, and then moved on and then added a 2 by 2 to the bottom, and then rows of 2 by 2 to the bottom with each level. So what did you predict for the fifth arrangement? Is that what you predicted? Good. All right, so if we're going to look at our arrangement like that, and we have to look at the numbers, how many, or how can we predict how many cubes would be on the 10th arrangement, or on the 50th arrangement, or on the 180th arrangement? Yesterday's equation that we used, if you don't remember, we were multiplying 4 because we were adding 4 each time, right, to the arrangement number, and then we were subtracting 2, right? And that would give us a total number of omnifix cubes that we would need to put together to make the different arrangements. So what would that equation be for, let's say, our 50th for this one? Again, we're just multiplying by 4, right? Oh. We are multiplying 4 by the arrangement. And then are we adding 1? Because we have 1 on the top. Well, let's look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our fifth arrangement, so we're going to go 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1, that equals 21. So if this equation was true for all arrangements, this should be 21. Is that right? No, it's definitely not right. No, just like with the previous, on page 206, or yesterday's arrangement, we have to subtract from 4 how many we have left. So this arrangement, we're going to multiply 4 times the arrangement and then subtract 3, which will give us the 1 that we started with, correct? All right. Just a little bit of extra work using algebraic equations. We always like doing algebra, or at least saying the word right. All right, so next slide. All right, so open up your books to page 206. You saw, or I'm sorry, 208. You saw this page. It looks very similar to page 206. Go ahead and stop the video and complete the workbook page for me. All right, so you apparently have started the video again, and we're going to go ahead and compare our answers, right? So our first one, and what we were supposed to do is put the total number of blocks for each arrangement. So the first one only had 1. The second one had 5. The third one had 9. The fourth one had 13. And the fifth one had 17 blocks in it. Did you get all those answers? I hope so. If not, go ahead and pause the video, rewrite in your answers, and we'll move on to the next step. For the next step, for number 2, we're supposed to write ordered pairs for each one. So our ordered pairs all start with the arrangement number. So that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 4, and that's a 5. And then the second number, or the y-axis, will deal with the number of cubes to make that arrangement. So in the first one, 1. In the second one, it took 5 cubes, then 9 cubes, then 13 cubes, and then 17 cubes. Boy, I hope your handwriting is much better than mine. All right, so our next part is that we now need to graph this information. All right, so we're going to put the ordered pairs onto our graph and then see how that looks. So 1, 1 means I go 1. Oh, well, I can't go up to the next line because the next line is a 2. So I have to go in between the lines right there. Right? And then for 2, we'd have to go up to 5. And for 3, I'd have to go up to 9. And for 4, I would have to go up to 13. And for 5, I'd have to go up to 17. And then for 6, go ahead and finish 6 and 7 on your own. What do you think the pattern would be? I hope you said that you increased by 4. So we would be at 21. Sorry about that extra dot. And then we would be at 25 for the last one. All right. Go ahead and connect those dots in a straight line. And then let's go ahead and open up to page 206 in your student book and compare the two graphs. So what do you notice about the two graphs on page 206 and 208? You know, one of the things I was noticing when I was looking at it is they followed the same pattern. They both increased by 4. Even though they had different starting points, one started at 1, the other one started at 2, they pretty much follow a linear line up and to the right. Both lines are parallel, meaning they're never going to cross each other. One is not growing at a faster rate than the other. So the distance between the lines is always going to remain 1. I also notice that they are increasing, and I know they're increasing because my line goes in an upward direction as it goes to the right. Did you notice anything else? I hope so. All right. So now let's take a look at short and tall towers. We're going to be bringing this information back up tomorrow. So this is just a little bit of work time for you to kind of work on finishing, or I'm sorry, this is just work that the rest of the time is just going to be work time so we can discuss short and tall towers tomorrow. All right, so what you're going to have is you're going to have 2 sets of towers, and you'll have to look at these arrangements for Tower 1 and Tower 2. This one is the short tower. This one is the long tower. This is in your student book, page 209 and 210. And you have to draw here and here for arrangements 4 and 5, and then draw the arrangement for 4 and 5 here. Just do your best with the drawing. The most important part is especially if you don't have the Omnifix cubes, is to get your answers or the number of cubes correct in the bottom. Okay, so once you get done with figuring out the number of cubes in each arrangement, go ahead and have ordered pairs for both of them. And then when you're done, we need you to graph. All right, now we have something different that we're going to be doing. We need a key here, because if you use the same pencil for both towers, we're not going to know which is the short tower and which is the long tower. So what I like to do with my kids is I have them choose two different colors, or you could choose two different types of lines, or you can draw two different points on the line for each of ordered pairs. So you could put a star here and you could put a box there, or you could put dots to show or connect the lines, or you can draw the line in blue. It's up to you. However you want to designate each one of your towers, but just make sure that the key is there so that we could see what the short tower graph looks like and what the tall tower looks like. And when you're done, compare your graphs, right? Write down any of the different relationships you see between them, and then you're done. It's a pretty simple day today. Just a little bit more work in comparing data and looking at various graphs. And when you're all done, remember, we'll discuss the tall towers tomorrow. Tall and short towers are the two towers tomorrow. When you are done, make sure you go back to your student book. You have to finish page 211 in your student book. Open up your home connections. Finish page 113 and 114. You can play also, if you have a little bit more time and you want to, play that the Connect 4 game that we did with the quadrants. You can also work on your Unit 6 online resources and your March or April Number Corner resources. Again, if you have any questions throughout the day, feel free to email your teachers and they'll be happy to get back in contact with you and help you through this process. If not, nice job, and we will see you next time. Enjoy math.